A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum to all the students of class 8th. I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Dear students, I welcome you again for the online classes as government has again ordered to shut down the schools for 2 weeks and we have already lost many things in last year due to COVID-19. My dears, now we were trying to recover them all in school, but again we have to face lockdown because of spread of corona again. I don't want to waste the time now. Let's quickly start our class. So today we are going to learn a short story from your textbook. The title of the story is Achilles, which comes in your YouTube syllabus. My dears, the topic Achilles, it has been written by Gerald Durrell. First of all, I will tell you a little bit information about the author Gerald Durrell. Who was Gerald Durrell? My dears, the full name of Gerald Durrell was Gerald Malcolm Durrell. He was a British naturalist, writer, zookeeper, conservationist and television presenter. My dears, he was born on 7th January 1925 and died on 30th January 1995. This was a little bit information about the author. Now, my dears, I will tell you about the title of the story Achilles. Who was Achilles? My dears, Achilles was a Greek hero. He was the son of Peleus, a Greek king, and Thetis, a sea nymph or goddess. My dears, it is said, according to Greek mythology, it is said, when Achilles was born, his mother Thetis held him up by his heel and dipped him in the river Styx so that he could live forever. After surviving many battles, Achilles finally died after an arrow struck him on his heel. This was a little bit information about Achilles. Now, my dears, I will tell you that in this story, the author has named his pet Achilles. And now, I will start the story. In this story, the narrator is surprised to meet the rose petal man during his travels because he had a fairy tale here about that was impossible to resist. The narrator could hear him long before he could see him because he was saying and playing a rippling tune on a shepherd's pipe. After that, the narrator has described the face of rose beetle man and his dress. My dears, the narrator said the rose beetle man had a fox-like face with large eyes. About his dress, he said it was fantastic. He had a hat on his head. His shirt was worn around his neck. The pocket of his coat bulged and his patched trousers drooped over a pair of leather shoes with upturned toes. He had carried on his back bamboo cages full of pigeons and young chickens. My dears, after that, when the rose beetle man saw the dog of narrator, he stopped and smiled at them. The narrator asked him if he had been some fiesta. The rose beetle man nodded his head vigorously, raised his pipe to his lips and played a lilting tune on it and then stopped and smiled and rubbed his forefinger and thumbs together, expressing that he wanted money. The narrator realized that he was unable to speak. My dears, after a long conversation between the narrator and the rose beetle man, the narrator asked the rose beetle man the price of the little tortoise. The rose beetle man showed him all the fingers of his both hands because he was unable to speak. The narrator denied and showed 2 fingers. At last, the rose little man handed him the tortoise and held up 5 fingers. The narrator wanted to show the animal to everyone at his home, so he hurried off along the road. And the new arrival was christened Achilles and turned out to be an intelligent beast with a sense of humor. Achilles loved grapes as much as Roger did. My dearest, Roger was the name of the narrator's dog. So there was always a great rivalry among them. But the food that Achilles liked best was the wildest strawberries. Achilles developed a passion for the human company. One day the garden gate was left open and Achilles was nowhere to be found. At some length, Achilles was found dead. He had fallen into a well. Lizzie, the family member of narrator, attempted at artificial respiration and suggested for forcing strawberries down his throat, but they failed to get any response. His corpse was buried in the garden under a small strawberry plant. It was only marred by Roger, who, despite all protests, insisted on wagging his tail throughout the burial service. My dears, this was the whole story about the Achilles. Now I have jotted down some words on the board. You can see it. The first one is mythology. Mythology means a body of myths. It means stories about superhuman beings taken as a true in ancient cultures. The second one is fairy tale. It is an adjective and it means extremely happy or fortunate. Third one is weird. It means very strange and unusual. Fourth one is rippling. Rippling means making a sound of water flowing quietly. And the fourth one is floppy. Floppy means soft and not able to maintain a firm shape or position. And the last one is fiesta. Fiesta in Spain, it is a public celebration, or in Latin America, especially one on a religious holiday with entertainment and activities. My dears, this was the whole story and these were the words from this story. Hope you got it. Thank you.